All right. Welcome, my friends. Happy Equinox Eve.
Yes, right? Yes, the last day of summer.
Yeah, can you feel the excitement? Can you feel the change in the energy? Can you hear me okay, Jolie? Okay.
All right, good
Kitty's
deal.
got good audio
Excellent.
check.
All right.
Okay,
A
thanks for the
thumbs
thumbs up,
upper.
Pauline. Appreciate you. All right.
Excellent.
So, feel free at any time if you'd like to put your video on. We love to have that embodied experience of you. And if you'd rather be a disembodied name on a screen, that's okay too. That's our preference. So this evening is the first among 3 sessions. We hope you can make them all, but just so you have an idea, if you're not able to make them, they'll all be recorded so you can refer to them at another time. So we're going to be talking about the theme here shortly. And what I've been feeling into, and Nicole and I have been mulling this around for several months actually, because this is our first ever seasonal virtual retreat. And what we and yet we have marked the equinox together now more than 20 times. The autumnal equinox together. Nicole and I have been exploring with different traditions, different ways that are both based in healing arts, but also more metaphysical or spiritual practices, sacred practices. And what we really want to do through the lens of living metta, through living or embodying loving kindness, is to share what we've been practicing with others, because we know without question that when we do things in groups, when we do things in communities, our individual intention and the intention of the group are all exponentiated. So I want to thank you all for being here live. And if you look at quantum physics enough, you'll understand that time is not linear. So even if you're connecting with us from the future that has not yet existed, you are still connecting with us in our present past, FYI. So thank you for being here at whatever level you are. And tonight, we're going to be focusing on the 3 qualities that we see comes up in autumn, whether you look at it from a neo-pagan perspective of the different mother goddess cultures and Native American cultures, indigenous practices that follow the different seasons and have very similar intentions. Or we'll also be looking at the Asian perspective. We'll even have a couple stories from Greek mythology thrown in the mix. And our intention is to share with you things that we think are awesome, exciting. And also we'd love to hear from you about what are you up to, or how does that affect you, or what kind of personal practices are you doing in your life that allow you to have a retreat. And this is a different kind of retreat, right, Nicole?
Very different than what we're used to. And I'm still so, I'm excited to co-create this with you in a way that will give us the experience of kind of breaking from the ordinary routine and to experience something extraordinary. And we have a few things planned, and I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, but maybe we should just get started.
Well, we absolutely can. And I did want to.
Do you have more?
Well, I just wanted to note a couple things.
Okay.
So what's your intention, Nicole?
Yes. Well, my intention this evening is to take big breaths with people who think big, who live big, and who are expressing themselves in the world in a way that invites loving kindness. And I feel like that's who's here, and that's what Heath and I are up to most of the time, or as often as I can remember. And I'm excited about the shared essence quality of fall that we can usher in together in a way that we maintain alignment, balance, health, harmony from the inside out. So
I love it. That's lovely. And when you said the word sacred, I want to point out that the sacred in our experience is simple. It can be complicated, it can be convoluted,
Mm.
there can be lots of rituals and steps and processes, and sometimes those are really edifying to have all those different steps.
Yeah.
And in our experience, the sacred can be a very direct experience, and it can be very simple, where
Mm.
we have the ability to presence our essence, to show up in the unique level of our innermost innate being, whether you call that soul, essence, whatever it is that is you in terms of
Mm.
your identification and ego.
Like our
But
true nature? Is that what you're talking
and
about?
and it includes our historical experience, but it also goes beyond our personality. So it could be, yeah, our true nature, our true
Mm.
self, and heard lots of different names. And taking this opportunity to retreat in part is stepping out of the hurry, hustle, bustle of ordinary routines.
Mhm.
And now this isn't a residential retreat, which a lot are done over multiple days or weeks. But our hope is that, at least in our time together, and perhaps even in between, you can carve out some extra
Mm.
special time for contemplation in terms of where you've come from in the previous season, and what do you want to help usher in the
Mm.
coming season. And we
Ooh.
want to give you all these catalysts that really have helped us in our personal relationship, our relationship with our family, with our friends, our professional relationship, our ability to make our dreams come true. And we want to share with you what I would say are manifestation hacks. And I think by
Yeah,
being
they're
intentional
they're
and
intentional practices that have helped us see more of what we want and experience more joy in our life.
or in what Native American Navajo tradition talks about, walking in beauty.
Mhm.
Some of us talk about being in the zone, being in your essence, presence. There's lots, being in the presence of the holy, of the divine, whatever that is. And we want to explore that
Mm.
with you
Mm.
in relationship.
What's your intention for this evening and the
I,
next 2 days,
yeah,
today and tomorrow?
yeah, absolutely, to share. And my hope too is to be shared with. So I'd love to hear what you guys are
Mm.
practicing, what you notice around the season of autumn, what you've noticed around some of the common threads that are seen cross culturally. So if you just look at it with external climatic factors, things are getting cooler, drier, things are going within.
Yeah, there's a sense of contraction.
And I think that's also happening within our inner climate too. This is a time
Mm.
of moving on the yin side of contemplation. So my hope is that we can share and collaborate back and forth, and that we can use group intention to lift all our intentions in terms of what we're letting go of and what we're harvesting moving forward.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, what we'd like for you to bring with you is we're going to play with sound or with light. We're
Mm-hmm.
going to play with both.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do both, and we'd love for you to join us. We brought our chime with us.
You might have, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's really nice.
You might have a Tibetan singing bowl, a crystal bowl. You might have a bell or something, or, what are those hand cymbals called? You might have something to make sound. Maybe you've got a rain stick. I know one of
Silence.
you here has a rain stick in her house. So a drum, a rattle, something to make sound. So at the heart of all traditions, you see this combination, this influence of let there be light. And so, do you have maybe a candle,
We
a
got our large
sage? We're going to do
candle.
a little smudging. Maybe there's a lamp, something that brings in the light for you, and then also something that has the capacity to make sound.
Mm-hmm. Light and sound. So if you haven't gotten those yet, bring those around you.
And do you know your true north? Now, yes, inward and outward. So, do you know what way your front door faces? Feng Shui, this is very important. And also, when we talk about utilizing the energy of the season, we can face certain directions. So, when we open up, we're going to call in all the directions, all the allies, and all the potential realms and worlds that support us, that are for us in benevolence, in support of our well-being, our family well-being,
Yes.
our earth, our world's well-being. And
Conspiring in our favor.
that's right.
Pronoia. Instead of paranoid, let's get pronoia.
Yeah, where the universe is ever conspiring in our favor. From all directions, we can receive blessings and love and abundance. And particularly, we'll talk about the direction of the West as it relates to autumn and the fall.
Mm.
So maybe you have something for light, sound. Maybe you know which way is north. Maybe you can download a quick app and look at your compass, or you can guess.
Are we facing north? Is that
We're
right?
going to start facing north,
All right.
and we're going to go through the directions. So before we jump in, any questions, comments, as we take this experiential journey through the season? Anytime you do have questions, simply unmute yourself. You have total control of that. And if we're near the camera, feel free to chat. If we're standing up or doing practices moving, we likely won't see the comment screen. So that best way to connect is audio.
Yes.
All right. We love collaboration. So anytime you want to speak up, share something, ask a question, do so. And we're going to begin standing.
Okay, we're going to face the north.
We're going to face the north, and we're going to use both fire and sound.
Well, first let's do sound, and then we can invite the fire.
Well, I thought we might smudge too.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes. All
yeah.
right.
So some of you are familiar with the Native American tradition of using smudge as a way to clear. And we're going to light a little. We have a little loose in our abalone shell here. And I'm going to use that to
I think it's a good idea.
let go. So this is to clear out. The intention of the scent is to let go of what's called acquired chi. That's the chi you pick up like stress, tension, other people's feelings.
Yeah, and it's acquired because you end up holding on to it. And what's nice about the sage, it's an opportunity for us to create some clearing, purging and clearing the space around you, personal space and your own home, wherever you are.
So we can use this to smudge or clear our space. And let's all begin by facing north. And we're just going to clear and tone as we work together.
And we'd love for you to join us. So when we say the direction, I'll hit the chimer and you can hit your chimer as well.
Yeah, your drum, your instrument, or make a sound.
Woo!
So let's just begin by gently breathing. Locate yourself in the here and now. Feel the earth beneath your feet. And we're facing into the direction that's to come. And we're going to go all the way around the wheel. So the direction of the west. We're calling in the energy. I'm sorry, the direction of the north.
Northeast.
Excuse me.
Let's go north. Let's try that. Let's try it again.
Let's reset. Reset.
Big breath. Are you feeling your feet? Feel my breath. I notice my shoulders. I'm smelling the sage, and I start to relax my shoulders down my back and soften my knees.
That's helpful. Thank you.
Yes.
Now I feel more located. Thank you. And so as we face the direction of the north.
North.
This is the direction of water, of winter. This is the direction of wisdom, of the direction of both old age, elders, and ancestors, death. So we're calling in all our teachers from the past, all of those who have supported us and taught us and held us up and helped create a clear path for our hearts, our minds, our bodies, and spirits.
Yes, and we call in the sensation, the feeling of wisdom.
Wisdom to the north. And then we transition right-wise, clockwise, to the direction of the east. This is the direction of spring associated with the wood phase. This is birth, or maybe a rebirth. This is new possibilities. This is the young infant, innocence, openness. This is the new possibilities, fresh beginnings in the East.
And we invite the inspiration of East to fill all of ourselves, to vibrate, enliven, and activate what inspires us most.
Beautiful. We'll move to our right again, clockwise, to the direction of the south, of the summer. This is the fire phase. This reminds us, this is that young adolescent, early adulthood with passion and vigor, and we receive the gifts in abundance of the south that propel us onward, that help us to speak from our hearts, speak the truth.
And we invite passion to fill our breath, to fill our bodies and our mind, that we are passionate for, and we continue to follow through with our passion all the way to the end of our expression.
We'll move clockwise, sunwise to the west, the direction of autumn. This is the direction of adulthood. This is the direction of getting into our power, of the contemplation. We have a life behind us, and we're adding and growing the ability to harvest all that helped us get to this place here and now. All the seeds that were planted in the spring that grew strong and mighty in the south. In the summer, we receive the harvest, the fruits of our labor. We also let go of the past, of our sorrow, of our grief and our sadness, of those things and people and places that have been lost to us. And we bring the gifts, because in the depths of loss is also hope and courage. And we call in the power of the West that empowers us, that helps us feel confident and easy in life.
We're thankful for the West and invite the energies of courageous behavior, courageous action to fill our steps.
And we'll circle the wheel one more time. Just go ahead and make a circle. Can go a complete 360.
And standing in the center of that circle, just pausing, noticing how you feel after moving through directions, inviting the qualities of directions to fill you as you stand in the center, the feeling of earth, of mountain energy.
Maybe one hand over your heart, one over your belly as you feel your feet rooted through the floor beneath you. Feel your energy expanding up into the heavens, and we combine the energy of earth, heaven, and the human energy of the highest form, which is love. Let's light a candle for love, as this connects all of us.
Yeah.
All humans have the desire, have the need, the want to give and receive love. And this uniting power connects us this evening and every day.
And a blessing for you, for us, as we begin together. May the nourishment of the earth be yours. May the clarity of light be yours. May the fluency of the ocean be yours. May the protection of the ancestors be yours. And so may a slow wind work these words of love around you, an invisible cloak to mind your life. One more big breath in and out. And then we'll come back together. If you'd like to, you can light your own candle now.
Or if you had an incense or anything. And like I said, a lamp is a perfect symbol. We just want these physical reminders to be incubators for our intentions.
So yeah, that whenever we pass them by, or whenever we see the candle, or we see the chime, or hear the chime, we can remember, oh yeah, my intention. Oh yeah, I am connecting with nature, or taking a breath, whatever it is that you want to reconnect with, however you can re-presence yourself in the moment.
So we're going to any feedback about any
Mm.
of that, please
Thank you for
let us
joining
know.
us. These are things that we do. We love sharing our personal practices with you. And we would love to know if what you find valuable and meaningful to you as well.
The main intention is to build our chi, to build our individual and our collective energy, our capacity to feel healthy, to feel resilient, and to both give and receive love.
Yeah, I love walking around with the sensation of like, oh, I have good
You
chi.
were talking about that this morning
Yeah,
on our
yeah.
walk. You
It's
talked
like
about being in the grocery store.
feel like I got some good chi, or like when I'm working and I feel like, oh man, the chi is here.
It's right there. It's right there.
It's right here.
And it doesn't often happen automatically, but with more practice becomes more acquaintance and
Mhm.
familiarity. And the more we invite that good chi in, the more likely it is to join us.
Mm.
So we have a few recommendations for retreating.
Yes,
Yeah. So
indeed. Let us explore some more.
those of you here are already doing step one, creating ample time for stillness, for reflection, for beingness. And we'll even encourage you to, you may or may not have a whole day or two to take off right at the equinox,
Mhm.
but if you can continue to build these practices that you feel really resonate well with you, we invite you to maybe schedule time in your calendar where you can take a day or two where there's no work. Maybe you take a fast from anything that's stressful, like work, like agendas, like deadlines.
Well, but for our time together,
Mm,
we recommend taking a fast from news and social media.
yeah, it's an invitation, not a requirement, but a strong recommendation
Mhm.
so that we're less divided in our attention and we can be united inwardly and outwardly with what we want.
Mhm.
We find that a lot of, not everybody, but a lot of social media and news is more cringeworthy than chi worthy. If you got some chi worthy stuff, keep doing what
Oh,
that
share
is.
it with us.
Yeah.
And we invite you to favor the questions over the answers for the next couple days. Heath and I will be floating and tossing and offering some questions for you to contemplate, to wonder into, to open and pique your curiosity. And we encourage you to favor the opening, favor the questions as we explore together in the next couple, in this container of a virtual retreat.
Mhm, mhm. Maybe you have a journal or a notepad. If you do have insights, especially around the time where we're doing meditations or we're asking some wonder prompts, we'll recommend you have something to write with. And we find keyboards are fine, but sometimes you use a different part of your body and brain
Brain,
when you
yeah.
use your hand, when you use a tool like a pen or
I
pencil.
know, and I particularly love using different colored pens. And my favorite are felt tip pens. Some of my friends love gels, and some people prefer, like finger painting and things like that. So whatever it is, whatever medium that is gonna like, oh, light you up even just a little bit, to connect with the moment and your aha.
Mhm.
I'd also like to invite you to continue to create the space of a retreat. That sense of disengagement, that sense of I'm going within, I'm taking time out of the ordinary schedule to create something different for myself. And whether that sacred space is on top of a dresser or in the corner of a house, or maybe it's a whole room that you're going to dedicate to coming into and walking away from as a way to signify to your body, to let yourself know, okay, now I'm retreating.
Mhm.
Now I'm beginning again.
And as a touchstone, it doesn't have to be a formal altar, but
Yeah.
something that's a touchstone for your awareness, a physical symbol of your essence or your intention to help anchor your attention and intention so you
Yeah.
continue to build the chi.
Yeah, and they could be, maybe you have collected fall leaves from a different time of a vacation, a place you went, or maybe there's an image of you in the fall, or some favorite icons or images or poetry that inspires you and helps you reconnect with, okay, now I begin the big breath, the pause, the retreat.
Mhm. Cool. I think that's well.
Mm.
So either today and tomorrow, or for the season to come, we recommend doing something for yourself that just feels incredibly supportive, that really allows you.
And supportive and nourishing.
Thank
and
you.
really allows you
To receive the offerings. This is the time of harvest energetically. It's really catalyzed by Thanksgiving and the cornucopia, and throughout the time from now through the next couple of months is oftentimes when agricultural societies do their second. This is considered the second harvest, and there'll be a third one later on in October, November time, depending on the tradition. But continuing the energy of feeling and building the stores for the winter, the darker and colder, less resourceful time to come. So this is really the time to help collect our chi for building our immune system. And the qigong we're going to do in a moment is going to be really good at fortifying your immune system. And things like maybe something dietary you shift. You take a day or two off of sugar or alcohol, or a week or a season of one of these things that you're willing to let go and shake off, to see how that might
how that might
move
feel
through your system,
how that might change the energetics of your own system and change the focus of your mind, so that you can open up to some new possibility for the change, the shift that's naturally occurring in the world around us. But how can we invite that same change, those same shifts from the inside out?
Cool. So to review, we're taking ample time for stillness, reflection. We're getting curious and being kind. So we're favoring.
Oh, did we say that? Yes.
Well, we want to favor the questions over the answers, and be especially gentle with yourself.
Oh, so friendly.
So you might not have answers to this stuff, and that's great. The questions is what we want to really encourage you to contemplate and go inward with. Creating a space that feels like a retreat, a mental retreat, a physical retreat. A bath would be creating that.
That sounds so nice. And I'd like to also add that we're going to be using some props in the next little bit that you might want to gather and have around you, at least or especially a blanket.
Yeah.
Something that you can roll, like a thick towel roll, something like that.
Perfect. Good. Thanks for.
We'll need that shortly.
That. We talked about the journal, maybe taking a new social media fast and offering yourself something special, because this is it's a special time. Halfway in, almost equal amount of light and dark.
Tomorrow.
That is the equinox.
Yes.
That's that equality. And in this balance point, we're moving from that expansive summer energy into dwindling light and in growing darkness. So how can we move toward the shadow and the dark while we bring the light with us?
Yeah, without stumbling or falling over or getting hurt. That's always my preference.
Yeah. All right. How about some qigong?
Yeah, I feel like moving.
Autumn.
Are we ready to move again, you guys? Shifting,
let's,
moving.
I like it.
Okay, great.
You feel ready?
I do. And yes, there's something I want to add right now. Anything that you would like to add or share with us in this moment?
Okie dokie, my friends. So let's come to standing.
All right, we're going to just create the pause for some space, making the space. So you make up the space, wherever that space is for you, so that you can move freely around.
Can I take that for you?
Oh yeah, thank you. Okay, cool. I'll move this to the side.
Maybe have that where we can see the notes, because I don't have our flow.
That's okay. There we go. Does that work?
Mm-hmm.
You can put it up, lean it up on there.
Yeah, that's actually 2 pitches.
Okay, cool.
From there to there.
All right. Oh, is that enough?
So again, you'll want enough room where if you bring your arms out, you're not going to bump into anything. Could you just, oh, that's good. That's very good. Excellent.
All right, great.
Excellent. So let's find our feet about shoulder width apart. You can play with the distance, but about outer shoulder width apart. And we're going to have a gentle bend in our knees. Optimally, the lateral blades, the outer blades of your feet, are parallel. And you're going to lift the front of your pubic bone up, but curl your tailbone down a bit. Begin to slightly bend your knees and put more of the weight in the ball of your feet. There's a very powerful acupoint called kidney 1, where your middle, about in line with the middle toe, where the ball of the foot and the arch meet, bubbling well. We want to put most of our body weight there. Locate yourself at your bottom of your spine. The perineum is in line. If the kidney ones came together, in line with the bottom of the perineum, crown of the head. And our arms would be lightly open, like you have little balloons under your armpits. Hollow out and create some space here. Anytime you like, you could also bring the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth, connecting the central channel. And as Nicole just indicated, you can gently draw your jaw back. Let your belly be soft, like a Buddha belly. We're not here right now sucking it all in. In fact, we want the gravity to really be felt toward the bottom of our abdomen, at and below our navel. So locate yourself here with those qualities of the west, of the autumn. Maybe you want to face west, it's up to you. Maybe you want to have the color white, which is the harmonizing color for the season. And let's draw in the heavens. So we're going to float our arms out to the side. Let your wrists lead and then your palms face upward. Inhale. Right over the head, gather that heavenly energy and wash it down the center of your body. Great. So we're going to inhale, expand. Come a little closer to me, please. Exhale. And maybe try that purging breath, exhaling out an open mouth. Inhale, visualize white light and bring that white light right up through your crown of your head, your heart. You're just clearing away any muck, any debris. So the archetype associated with autumn is the alchemist. So here we're transforming the lead, the muck into gold, we're composting and transforming what we don't need and utilizing it to fertilize and enhance what we want to create. One more like this. Clear out any grayness, any muck. Visualize white light all the way into the earth to be released. Great. And now we're going to begin with a little spinal cord opener. So we're going to make a Y shape.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to open. Go ahead and explain, Nicole.
All right, cool. Yes, sure. Happy to. Feet hip width apart. You're going to squeeze your shoulder blades together. Your hands and fists, your hands coming into like nice little soft fists. As you inhale, reach back.
Tailbone back, chest up.
And then exhale, we're going to round the spine, tuck the tailbone, tuck your chin, bring your elbows together. Let's do this back and forth with your breath. Inhaling into a fist with your palms. Extending the spine. Exhale, rounding, flexing the spine. So nice big opening into a lung space. Starting to take those big breaths. Starting to stretch those intercostal spaces, the cage of your ribs, the cage of your lungs. Back and forth. Let's do this a couple more times.
You can visualize drawing in white light and exhaling in gray clouds, any grief, sadness, sorrow, depression, any feelings of loss and letting go. Release it now. We're clearing the space to receive all the fruits of our intentions.
Oh, I like that. Let the gray mist of your lungs, anything you don't need to come out with your exhale, blow it out. And then this time, I'm going to inhale. Let's twist to the side. Let's open up into the side of your body to the lungs. And then exhale, center. To the opposite side. And center. And back and forth, flowing with your breath, your pace. Might be a little faster or slower than mine or his. Listen to your body. Follow the flow of your true nature, your essence.
Maybe add the healing sound for lungs and large intestine, which is a breathy C.
And balance yourself out. And then we'll finish at the center one more time. Open and close. Oh, drop those hands. Oh, feel that. Yum. Starting to feel a little bit warmer, feeling more flexibility around my ribs and chest.
Yeah, and we're going to take the 3 days of the Qigong flow through the 3 main focuses. So tonight's going to be about purging. Tomorrow morning is going to be about tonifying, strengthening. And the last session will be all about circulating.
So are we letting go?
Yeah.
All right, so let's let go even more. We're gonna get even a little bit warmer. So we're gonna exhale our breath out and swing your arms behind you. And then as you inhale, you're gonna crisscross your arms and tap on your lung 1 point.
Yeah.
Big tap,
so
inhale.
Right inside your shoulder crease. You want to try to take a little binocular, okay, fingers.
I like soft fist, little monkey paws.
Nicole does monkey paws. I do little binocular, okay. And so we inhale as we come up.
Yes.
Oops.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yep.
Yeah.
Exhale down. Tap. Find your pace.
Might be going quicker or slower than us. Let go. You could even inhale, let. Exhale, go. Let go. What are you letting go physically?
Letting go of that tension, any stress, any residual emotions of grief, of sorrow, sadness, and depression.
Loss. And drawing in, inspiring those qualities of courage, power, confidence, and ease.
Beat your chest like a courageous warrior.
No worry. We inhale up. 3 more. Let go. Maybe make. We are liking that ha breath for last one.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I got warmed up. Definitely doing some purging there, Nicole. Love it. Love it. We've got a little, we're just coming out of late summer. We're actually still in late summer, technically, if we follow the calendar. So let's give a little homage to our earth element. And this is a nice flow for the earth phase, the spleen and the stomach. So hands start just in front of the lower belly. And we're going to reach the right palm up through the center, stretch it up, and push the heel of the palm away from you. And the left hand, same thing. They're pressing away and stretching. Good. Inhale at the top of the extension. And then soften your wrists and hands. They spiral through center. You can do a slight bend. And then inhale, push the opposite heels of the palm. Take a little extra breath here as we catch up because we did a little more on one side. And then as you exhale, we'll soften the knees, spiral through. Inhale, open. That spleen channel runs from the inside of the big toe all the way up the inner legs, the front sides of our torso, right toward the armpit, and then it zigzags right down in toward our rib under the armpit. So we're opening up, spleen receiving nourishment, feeling centered. Let's go one more to each side. Balance yourself out wherever that is for you. And when you feel complete, we're going to keep our arms up there. Whatever hand is up and down, lean away. So the hand that's up, push to the opposite side. The hand that's down, push to the opposite side. Good. Inhale, center. Exhale, spiral through. And then reach, lean to the opposite directions. Yeah, all right. Inhale, center with the spine, spiral the hands, and then exhale, lean and stretch. If you need to take 2 breaths to get there, you could inhale, center, release the hands, inhale, lean, exhale, stretch, but find a way to center up with 1 or 2 breaths. Exhale, lean. Now we're getting a little more opening through the earth element. When it consolidates, it begins to create the minerals that hold up the alloys, the metals. So now we're building from the earth, the mother of metal, and imagine you're breathing into your lungs beautiful white light. Your lungs are like beautiful, pure quartz crystals. Feel that mineral energy, that power and strength, that rarefied mineral. One more to each side. Let on the inhale, exhale, go. In through the nose, out an open mouth, or even make that C sound at any time you want to add that. Coming back to center. Did that feel complete for that one for you, Nicole?
Feels great. And I love the pause in between to let yourself really notice the benefits of your efforts. Really start to feel what your lungs, your heart, your chest, your arms, all the meridians, channels opening up into through your arms and to your fingertips.
Yeah, and you can either have your hands hovering over, or if it feels good to you, you can have one palm over the other, contacting. So feel what feels better. Maybe try both and test it out. See what is your body drawn to do. Cool. And so now let's do some gentle palm. This is helping open up the lung meridian even more. Start with our palms face up. We're going to thrust one away.
Okay, yeah.
So push away with one hand and draw the other back as you inhale. As you exhale, look back behind you and twist, twist, twist.
Inhale, twist.
Yeah. Inhale, center. Reverse the opposite palm. Exhale, begin to bring it back. Inhale, twist. Exhale.
Exhale through the center. Inhale, twist.
That's the breath. I was getting my breath on backwards.
Exhale through the center. Inhale,
Thanks for helping me out.
We're going to go back and forth. Looking back, reaching your elbow back behind you. Purging, clarifying, clearing the space of your lungs, the space of your breath. Clearing, tonifying, and moving through the space. That musculature that supports and holds up your lungs, that protects and supports the movement of your breath, the diaphragm, all those back muscles, the paraspinals, feeling those rotators starting to open as you inhale, twist, and exhale, press away from you.
You twist a little further each time you twist, each time you breathe in and back.
Is linking our breath and our movement together, creating an active, moving meditation here. Mind and breath, body and movement, all in harmony, synchronizing, aligning, centering ourselves in the moment. What are you experiencing? What are you feeling for? One more cycle, balance yourself out, however that is for you, and then back to center. Let that go. Feel the effects. How your shoulders feel, your shoulder blades, your twisting ribs, your waistline opening, your digestion starting to churn in a new way.
Little lung polishing.
Okay. So we're gonna inhale. Let's bring the arms out to the side. Inhale, arms out. We're gonna gather some heavenly chi, and we're gonna, like a chi ball is right between our hands. We're gonna bring this chi ball down and in front of us. It's like a column of white light. And then we let it go. We disperse the energy down to the earth. And then we inhale, carry it up, and pause with the palms up and open at the lungs. Give it away. Inhale, exhale down. And this time, bring your arms up just a little wider. Inhale those arms up. And then exhale through the center. To another inhaling breath as you open your palms in front of your lungs to the sky, to the heavenly chi. Exhale. Inhale, raise the arms wide and open. We are polishing the lungs here. This is a lung polisher, following the flow of your breath, smoothing out the flow of your inhale and exhales.
We're also smoothing out any rough edges of our auric field. This is the protective energy of our immune system called the Wei Qi. Imagine like a figure eight pattern that your palms are creating somewhat. You can imagine the loop keep going, infinity. And this is the shape. We're ironing out the wrinkles. We're closing up any leaks. We're sealing off any areas where we might be leaking energy, drawing into our lungs to enhance our immune system. And that energy is also moving through the paired organ, lung with large intestine, where a big proportion of our microbiome, our healthy bacteria, are located in our guts. Super important in our immunity as well. Exhale, you could do the open mouth purge with just that sigh breath, or you can add that C sound. Last one, does that feel good?
Yeah. And this time, let's pause with our palms up towards the sky as we hold here, standing meditation pose, gathering energy, gathering heavenly chi, sky chi, earth chi into your palms. Heavenly chi right into your palms. Universal cosmic energy filling your relaxed hands. And then turn the palms over, facing the earth. Let that go. And now feel and gather earth chi, earth energy, nature pooling up like your hands are magnets.
And your feet are magnets.
Opening up your hands and feet to draw in, to pull in nature, earth chi. What's next?
We're going to take a moment to gather that earth energy, lift up to the heavens, and now gather that heavenly energy. So we gather the earth, we gather that inspiration, and then we merge it at the heart. So we just place palm over palm and gather that energy into our chest. The heaven and earth balanced by humanity, the highest expression of love. Love for yourself, love for your neighbors, your community, all beings, and the cosmos. Let's move into some white tiger, Nicole.
All right, so we're gonna pull up our claws here. And we're gonna exhale out an open mouth. Forward fold, drop your seat, and let's roll up one vertebrae at a time. Roll up through the spine, gather, pull up anything you don't wanna have in your body anymore, and then like a tiger, let it go.
You could make a little more of a growl sound.
It's kind of fun.
So we're drawing in that white light, we're drawing in the qualities of courage, of confidence, drawing that quality of ease, not too much, not too little effort, easy, perfect timing, easy, perfect place. One more deep breath.
Pausing with the arms hanging down by your sides this time. All right, let's finish with some little bit of shaking. So shake out the hands, shoulders, head and neck.
Let your legs wobble.
Yeah.
Feel your joints very fluid, aquatic. And if you're healing and your knees are back, don't be so vigorous. But if you feel pretty good, you can even lift your heels up and drop them. Dropping the post helps you to ground. You can do a little swaying. So if you feel any residual tension, stress from the day, the week, the months behind you, the weeks, the months ahead, just shake off the dead leaves. The past is dead. The future doesn't exist. Let go of what's not essential. So you can draw your attention into the branches, into the center of your trunk, into the depths of your roots and core.
Let's finish with 3 C breaths, S breaths, final S breaths, letting out anything else residual go. Inhaling through your nose.
You can add a smile too, that helps. The inner smile helps everything move a little easier, smoother, easier. Yes.
And pausing in your stillness. Maybe let the arms spiral as you rock from front to back, from heel to the ball of your foot. And let's bring our chi, let's bring all that energy that we played with, that we worked with, let's bring it right back into center, into your belly, into your center of presence, Dantian. Your feet come together, your hands come together.
Traditionally, ladies put the right palm on top, gentlemen left. But find what feels right for you today. You can interweave your thumbs or just cover up one palm over the other. Smile into your belly. This is your center. This is your energy. Smile to your essence, your soul, whatever language you use to connect to that inner unique spark. I feel confident.
I feel courageous.
I feel powerful.
I feel at ease.
Beautiful.
Let's take a moment to kind of pause and walk around. Notice how you feel after that purging qigong exercises. Grab some water, and we'll come back in like 5, like 3, 5.
Yeah, maybe 2 or 3. Yeah, let's
see what time it is. It is 57. Oh, well, that's not the clock. Let me look at. I have an actual watch.
You have an actual watch? Let's come back in 3 minutes, which is about 25 after.
All right.
So we'll see you guys in a moment.
2 and 3.
Get a little water.
Can't you take the lip off your mouth now that you have the facts on your side? Take a moment to reflect where you're from. Let reason guide you. See all tracks lead you out from the top. See all tracks lead you out to the stars. Why can't you take the lip off your mouth now that you have the facts on your side? Take a moment
reflect where we're going, let reason guide you. See all tracks lead you out from the dark. See all tracks lead you out to the stars. Make the light lead you out. 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 Why can't you take a lick of your mouth now that you have the facts on your side? Take a moment to reflect who we are. Let the reason guide you. See all tracks lead you out from the dark. How the light feeds life. What makes up you and I? What it takes to thrive. What we need to survive. How we flourish and die. What it means to be alive. What it means to be alive. Make the light lead you out. Right, letting that light lead you out. Make the light lead you out. Okay. So coming on back. Thanks for joining us for that Qigong flow.
Yeah, how are you feeling? If you'd like to, you can post in the chat, let us know what you're feeling, or if you'd love to tell us, we'd love to hear from you. What are you noticing? Did you feel like it was purging, clarifying, cleansing?
I'm appreciating too what's going on Kitty Collins' screen. I love this is the look of autumn, like sundown. This is energetically. I got your, sorry, Kitty, I got your screen on the big view. But I love your background. It's absolutely perfect for the energy right now. Thanks for making that video available. And you know, we want to talk a little bit more about the energy as it's seen around different cultures. And I'm reminded of, well, first, my Grecian goddess wife. For those of you who don't know, Nicola's 50% Greek. So this is a
Cypriot Greek.
Cypriot, okay, it matters. Okay, it matters, right? She's also a quarter Italian, but it's Sicilian Italian.
That's right.
And a quarter Native American, but it's Hopi Tewa. So
yeah,
it's good to be specific.
Yeah.
It's good to be specific about our lineage. Me, this Anglo dude, I can go back like 2 generations about, and then the family tree is lost. So I love that different cultures often put a lot of attention into what preceded them, and especially from the Greek history.
Oh, a little mythology you got for us?
Yeah, this is the story that ancient Grecians and then Romans and a lot of peoples in and around the Mediterranean communities, it was the origin story of why things would grow at certain times and not other times. And so Zeus, among his many wives, was Demeter, and she was the goddess of harvest. And they had a beautiful young daughter named Persephone. And all the other gods, there were so many suitors for Persephone, but Demeter loved her daughter and really wanted to keep all the dudes away, and maybe a little, I don't know, codependent, maybe
special
not.
Mother-daughter relationship going on.
And the god, Zeus's brother Hades, you know, in the underworld said, and came to Demeter and said, I would love to wed your daughter. And just like she had told the countless other
Suitors.
suitors, no way, not a chance in hell, not a chance in Hades. Ha ha, bad joke. Not gonna happen. So he was kind of sneaky. He did a couple sneaky things, as one might imagine about Hades. And Persephone was picking flowers with some friends, some other young women, and this gorgeous narcissus flower just gravitated, looked unnaturally beautiful, and she was drawn to it. And just the moment she tried to pluck that narcissus, the ground opened up, and out came Hades. He grabbed the girl, absconded with her down into the underworld.
Her poor Persephone.
I know.
What the heck?
Against her will. Demeter was heartbroken, didn't know at first where her daughter was. And it turned out that that she finally found that Hades had her hiding out. And Persephone was not too happy about the arrangement. She missed her mother. However, Hades did something kind of sneaky, number two, where he had Persephone have some pomegranate, and just a few seeds of the pomegranate would instantly attract you to the underworld, and it would be hard for her to leave. And so when Demeter finally got Zeus to bring her brother to God court at Mount Olympus, Zeus said, well, if Persephone says she wants to go with her mom, why, she can live here all along. And if not, then she is the rightful bride of Hades. And how can I take her from her husband? And so when she was asked, Persephone, who do you wish to be with? Your mother Demetrius on Mount Olympus, your mother Demeter, or your husband, Hades? And she said, I need to get back to the underworld. I just miss it. I long for it. And Demeter was heartbroken. And Hades like, all right, I won this one. Grabbed her, headed back down. And Demeter was just
heartbroken,
wretched with grief and sorrow to the point where her tears, the goddess of harvest, salted out, blotted out, made all the land follow, and wasn't able to grow, and killed the land, and everything on the earth, nothing would grow, and the people were complaining and crying and hailing Zeus, please help us out. What are you going to do? And Zeus came to an arrangement with Demeter and said, okay, how about this? And this isn't going to please either of you, my brother or my wife, but for half of the year, Persephone will be with her mother in Mount Olympus, and the other half she'll be with Hades in the underworld. So now, with the changing of seasons, that is why the land goes dead and doesn't grow. Fallow, I think is the
right word.
word. Yeah, correct me if you know the correct word. And that's why for 6 months, 6 months, the land is kind of barren because Demeter is racked with anguish. And then when she arrives again, spring and summer and everything is beautiful. But we see lots of different, the celebration of Rosh Hashanah. There's celebrations, all kinds of cultures, the neo-pagan cultures look at Maban, and celebrate the elements, the seasons. There's several different cultures. Persians, they have their own
the
version.
Mayans.
Yeah, they built a temple. Maybe you've seen this temple.
We'll have to find video of it.
Where they had such sophisticated architecture and cosmology, astronomy, that they were able to figure out the 2 days of the equinox, of the autumnal equinox, there would be a shadow. You saw a version of this in Indiana Jones, some of you. You saw a shadow down the staircase of one of the ancient Mayan pyramids that looked like the serpent, the god serpent that brought in transformation, transmutation. So there was a big Mayan festival. So cross-culturally, and historically on every continent, this time of dwindling light and expanding darkness and preparing for that time has met with either spiritual or religious significance, or even just different ways of commerce and business were orchestrated around this significant event.
Yes.
of course, growing seasons, agriculture, other business things as well. So just want to give you a little flavor. And from a traditional Chinese perspective, you've heard us mention that the autumn is associated with the metal phase. That's why we did a metal flow. The lung and large intestine organ meridians can be really challenged at this time. So it's really important, especially if you have a history of asthma or bronchitis,
Right.
breathing difficulty, diverticulitis, constipation, things that jam up your gut, irritable bowel. This is particularly folks with those pre-existing conditions. This can be especially challenging for them.
Yeah, they can they can become flared up. They can be left vulnerable and lead you to more injury or pain or tension.
The tissue associated with metal phase and the season of autumn is the skin. Sometimes it's known as the third lung, although it does a very minuscule amount of respiration. It does transmit some respiration, but also skin conditions and the climate of dryness come together during the metal phase.
Yes, like
metal
eczema,
element.
psoriasis, even dry, rough patches.
Yeah, that might become more
prevalent. Yeah.
The harmonizing flavor is going to be spicy things. So some of you have already checked out the
golden milk tea recipe.
Oh, what great for
One
your
of our
immune
favorites.
system, incredibly anti-inflammatory. It's got the spice feature of the ginger. It's got some turmeric. You throw in some cinnamon, which is really important this season, especially as we approach holidays and more family gatherings. There's sometimes a tendency for emotional depletion. So those...
Yeah, and cinnamon helps fortify that. So you can start to think about maybe diffusing more cinnamon or boiling cinnamon in the spaces where you're gathering people together.
Yeah, so maybe creating a golden milk for yourself with the different herbs I mentioned on that YouTube video would be a great supplement to supporting your immune system, supporting your lungs, your large intestine, your skin, and just a great treat too.
Yeah, a really nice way to emphasize a retreat experience with something warm and cozy and still fortifying and nourishing at the same time.
So one of the key elements, so we're talking about these 3 sessions with 3 different objectives, and we would do this every season. We're looking to purge, which is especially indicated with letting go energy. We're looking to tonify, to strengthen and build, and then we're looking to circulate. So today is really the emphasis on purging, releasing, and with the lungs.
Yeah, kind of making space for the new energy we want to invite in for that fall shift, that fall change.
Exactly. So we're going to practice one of our favorite all-time ways of letting go. Just takes a couple minutes. I know when I taught Nicole's mom this, she ended up abbreviating it to even be able to do it when she was experiencing road rage. And this is a way to get rid of that acquired chi. That's what we mentioned earlier. When you pick up other people's stuff or you're carrying your own stuff from the past that isn't in service to your present or your future self that you're envisioning, this is a really immediate, powerful way to off-gas those qualities. And so I'd like you to think of one thing, and it could be very, very big thing you'd like to release and let go of. But I would recommend, if you haven't done this before, start with something small. Maybe like someone cut you off on the road, went back to that road rage metaphor, or someone didn't do like appropriate, in your mind's eye, the appropriate responsible social physical distancing, or they didn't. So like my pet peeve is when people don't wear their masks like on their nose.
In Target, what's up with that?
We don't need to name any singular brands, but yeah. So the quality, when you bring the letting go energy, the harvesting energy, and the discernment energy, these are kind of the themes of our 3 sessions, you begin to build the tools, the skill set for inner alchemy. And
and that is the archetype of the metal element, the alchemist. And each of us embodies a piece of that courageous, passionate person who can alchemicalize lead to gold.
Yeah.
Who can alchemicalize breath. Every time we inhale that oxygen, we transpire, it transmutes into something different as we exhale. becomes something valuable for us, and then we get to off gas, and it becomes something valuable for the environment around
Yeah,
us.
plants love our CO2. I don't know how much the planet does, but yeah, it depends on the CO2.
It
But
depends on the source. We're a good source.
Quality over quantity, right? So we're going to play with alchemy, inner alchemy.
Your inner alchemist.
To take the acquired chi, to acknowledge it first, and then transmute it. A beef that I have around a lot of manifestation practices, in some ways that the law of attraction is taught, is it's like, well, the opposite of fear is love. So just go for the love. And
how do I get there? How do I get to the love?
You can't just blot out and pretend no fear, because that's not real. We actually have to go through, and the challenging emotion for this season is sadness. And the beauty of sadness and how it's orchestrated in our physiology is that we cry when we're really sad, and we're able to go all the way through the emotional wave and peak of our sadness and grief and sorrow and loss, is that we wash ourselves. We can wash away waves of sadness with our tears. And it doesn't always happen immediately, but it's a beautiful physical response to an emotional thing that is distraught. And this is natural alchemy without us trying to, when we allow that to happen.
Yeah, and it's stored. Sadness is typically stored in the upper chest, the throat, and the lower, and the jaw,
So
like a little
quiver, a little part of
think of a little kid
feeling upset and sad, doesn't get invited to play. Yeah. So
notice your own jaw, notice your own neck and in front of your chest as we start to connect in with the sensation, the body sensations of this time, this seasonal shift.
And so we have the natural, organic, biological alchemy of sadness and crying. And if, by the way, you feel like you need a really good cry, go watch some sad movie. Like, I used to hate sad movies because I'm like, why do I want to cry? Sometimes we stop ourselves from crying, and we need a little help from Hollywood. So that's
so maybe there's something that we are looking to let go of, that you haven't quite let it all the way. You haven't really completely let go of those little lasting little ties or ribbons.
And especially during this once in a lifetime, hopefully this is once in a lifetime, right? Pandemic, quarantine. Why? Personally, I've lost, besides business, chances to lead retreats in France, in Thailand.
Yeah, looking at our calendar, we realized, there's a lot to grieve here. There's a lot that we missed out on, and there's also a lot that we got to create. So there's both. There's the hope, and then there's the loss.
So we want to acknowledge the loss and the sorrow so we can move through it and transform and inner alchemize. So we're going to do what's called unhooking from the source. And some of you know this as that was then, this is now. And so what I'd like you to do is come to a standing position.
All right.
And it really helps to move. Okay, you can do it just in your head, but when you begin to recruit your entire body and your kinesphere, we begin to really exponentiate our ability to release. And I'll switch spots.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So as you consider something that you would like to let go of, might have a flavor or tone of sadness, I'd like you to imagine that thing that you want to release as existing somewhere in the room. And actually let your body tell you where it is. So take a slow 360, amble around the room, and locate, where's that thing you want to let go of, you want to release.
That I want to let go of.
So for me...
And let yourself maybe repeat the question a couple times as you look around. What is it? Where is it that I want to let go? Where is it in the room?
And if you don't have a clear body signal like, oh, this is where I feel like it is, just choose a spot. So choice is the perfect tool for implementation for your intention. So see it over there, that's what you're going to let go of. But I also want you to face the direction where you feel fully embodied, empowered, courageous, powerful. So not the same direction of where you're letting go, And so it might be a little off, a half a degree or 180 degrees one way, but a place where you feel full, like you feel full of yourself in the best way. You feel embodied and powerful. So for me, I'm going to face the direction of what I'm letting go. And then I'm also going to face the direction where I feel here, I actually move my feet. Great. So now think of that thing that you're ready to release. Point your body that way. Look at it. Point a finger or a hand and say, that was then. And
that was then.
Say it out loud. You can mute yourself. That was then. And
that was then.
Now pick up your feet. It's important you don't just swivel and pivot your spine. Now with your other hand, point in the direction of power. Maybe it's on the ground, maybe it's ahead of you, and say, and this, actually you're going to touch your body. Thank you, Nicole. You're going to locate yourself in that point of power. With the other hand, and say, and this is now.
And this is now.
Maybe touch your chest, your belly, your head. So point the thing you want to let go. That was then.
That was then.
One hand. Opposite hand, contact your body and say and to connect it. And this.
This is now.
Good. Let's do that a few times. That was then.
That was then.
And this is now. And you can change your voice. So
that was then.
That was then.
And this is now.
Or you can exaggerate your tempo. That was then. And be real. That was then. And it gets people excited like that. And this is now. Yeah, so try that a few times. Be calm, Jake. Also, maybe it's not a timing thing, but it's something that happened with someone. So you could also say, that is their business.
That's their business.
His business, her business, their business. Move your feet, find that place of power, courage, strength, ease.
This is my business.
And this is my business. And do this about another half dozen times. One of those phrases, that's their business. And you could whisper, and this is my business. Or you could add a, that was their business. So changing the inflection. Don't take yourself too seriously. And this is my business. It breaks us out of the fixation of overly serious, overly rigid, overly metallic, and helps us to kind of polish our metal and refine our reflection. That's their business. This is my business. Or for me personally, what I'm feeling like, that was then, and this is now. That's what I've lost.
That's what I've lost.
And you should fill in your own words. And this is what I've found. This is what I've learned. This is what I've grown. This is how I'm impacted positively. 3 or more like that. That was then. And this is now. You can whisper.
That was then.
Maybe say it sub-audibly too. The more senses, the more of your body, the more of your sound, the more of your breath you can employ, the more powerful the shift will be. That was then.
I created that.
And this is now.
I created this.
Great. And we'll just let that go. Shake that off. Yeah, and I'll tell you the abbreviated version of that. So the one Nicole's mom, Des, came up with is when she's driving and something happens that she's not particularly happy about, she's got, you can choose what finger you use, right? But she'd be driving, she'd be like, that's their business. Oh, let me get it. That's their business. I can use my other finger. And this is my business. That's their business. And maybe she uses a couple curse words. But make it friendly. Make it fun. So healing, doesn't... actually, it's not facilitated. It doesn't grow well in seriousness. But in fact, the more playful we are, like a little squeaky toy, right on cue. It's Living Meta's mascot. A little joy, a little spontaneity, a little out of the ordinary. When metal types become too rigid, they can become anal retentive. Again, that large intestine reference, they can get constipated, they can get backed up, not like someone's backing me up, but they get backed up, they can overanalyze. So one of the things that metal phase and personalities that have a lot of metal energy in their chart when they were born, in their prenatal chart, the genetics that came together. Something that can happen also is they can overanalyze something. They can become very obsessive compulsive or fixated and stuck in a rut, hamster wheeling, where you're thinking really fast, like rumination or perseveration about worries or fears and doubts, land you in that hamster wheel where you go really fast, but you get nowhere. And that can be sometimes the shadow side of the alchemist, the perfectionist in a world made up of flaws, unrealistic, right? So let's see, we have time for a final meditation. And this is one of our favorites. I think this is going to really help anchor you in some really sweet dreaming. This will really help fluff up the energy of harvesting. And what I'd like you to do is find the most perfect meditation position for yourself. So for some of you, it could be a seated meditation. For others of you, you might want to lay down, and Nicole's going to show a couple. Would you show a couple different layouts?
Sure.
This is where you might want your towel, if you have one. We're going to make our way to the floor.
I'm going to roll my blanket. I think I'm going to do a blanket roll underneath my shoulder blades this evening to continue to open up and emphasize the opening in my lungs. So I'm going to find a good spot on the ground. And then I'm going to, excuse me, Jake, I'm going to place it right underneath my shoulder blades, right along my brow line, and drape my body right on top of that. That's one really nice option to start to open up into the lung, in ribs, intercostals, and expand into your breath.
You could also take what's called westward facing pose in yoga, Paschimottanasana, and you could get a little bolster or prop, and you could take a nice yin pose. I know, Jake, I'm really close to the ground. And you could take a forward fold. I love you too. Or a seated meditation. So find what is going to best support you. If you're feeling super sleepy, it's okay if you fall asleep, if that's what you want to do. If you want to be sure you don't fall asleep, maybe consider staying in a seated position. And let's just begin to gently connect with our breath. Did you want something under your knees, Nicole?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And begin to circulate your awareness into your lungs, breathing past your head, into, yeah, of course, into your chest, but past your ribs is what I meant to say, into your belly. Breathe into your side body.
Breathe past your head.
Breathe past your head. Breathe past
idea.
that analysis. Breathe into your heart. Breathe beyond your head and heart into your guts, your belly. And in your mind, tell yourself, I love my breathing. Send a beam of appreciation to your lungs, maybe this white light. Appreciate the evolution of your body, the multi-million year old lungs. I love my breathing. Beautiful. And now beginning to come into your circulation, feel the pulse in your chest. Maybe you feel your heart beating at the ends of your fingers and toes, and coming into all the things circulating in your body, the blood, but also the different enzymatic reactions, the circulating neuronal impulses, the hormonal exchanges in the glands of your endocrine system, and affirm, I love my circulation. Focus a beam of love to every part of you that is circulating, turning food into energy. It's a miracle how your body circulates. Now let's come into our emotions. And we're going to start from the top of our body, moving down and starting with anger, affirm inwardly, and this might sound a little strange, I love my anger. And remember, it was there before you were. It's evolved over millions of years. And according to body-centered psychology, anger gets stuck in around our jaw, the back of our neck, the tops of our shoulders, behind our heart. Send some generous breaths, some generous beam of light into your shoulders, your neck and jaw. Thank your anger for letting you know what's yours and what's not yours, letting you know what is supportive and what's not. Now dropping into your chest, the center of sadness, a bunch of sensations in a particular part of your body, trying to tell you something in your chest, the front of your throat, the bottom of your chin, chin, chin. And affirm, I love my sadness. I love my grief. Bring it all home. This is yours. Take some deep breaths, expand into it. Some of these you won't be able to say. They don't feel right or natural, and that's fine. Just explore, experiment. Dropping down a little lower, drop into your belly, the sides of your belly, all the way into your low back. And celebrate as you affirm, I love my fear. Celebrate rather than avoiding or trying to get rid of the fear. I love my fear. We're owning it, we're co-opting it so we can create that inner alchemy. I love my fear. Breathe into your belly. Breathe into your belly like you love your belly, your lower back. Now, shame is often associated with the pelvis and sexual feelings. And I want to invite you to consider that there might be some unclaimed shame in your life. That's one of the shame, guilt is about something you did, but shame is about something that you are. And a lot of us, even if we don't consciously acknowledge it, have some shame, some area where we feel like we're inadequate or wrong or broken. Claim that shame so we can repurpose it. We can compost, alchemicalize it. I love my shame. And also feel in your body your sexual energy. And of course, we think of the genitals, different erogenous zones, but sexual feelings, that's the same, right? It's the same currents of creation, all of life. None of you, it's how we all got here, right? Sexual energy, it cannot be denied. So breathe into your sexual feelings, open up and celebrate it. I love my sexual feelings. And moving your awareness all the way down, we began at our respiration and our circulation. We traveled down, loving in and around our jaw and shoulders, owning, transforming our anger, owning and loving the front of our throat and our chest, sadness, into our belly and fear, our pelvis, claiming. So we can, when we claim it, we can rename it. The shame, the sexual feelings, and feel yourself energized by all these parts of you. Some that we have more familiarity, more dexterity with, others that we sometimes put on a shelf, on a back burner. And find one area with one or both hands to connect with as you feel yourself come home to you. Maybe it's an area you're healing. Maybe it's an area energetically, emotionally, you could use more support. And Sometimes we can't go right for I love, but you can start with choose. I choose to love me. I choose to love this experience. I choose to love my breath, my life, my feelings, my thoughts. 3 more deep breaths. Really expand in your capacity to love, to both acknowledge, purge, let go, and now harvest. Harvest all the benefits of all the experiences and feelings that have led up to this moment that has assisted you in your wisdom, in your new possibilities, in your passion, and in your ability to receive the abundance of the season. Now expand your awareness into this evening and the next day together and the next several days and weeks, the rest of the season. See yourself smiling, filled with beautiful white light. Now, maybe if you're laying down, begin to push yourself out if you're in that forward fold, or if you're rolled over, bend your knees, draw your knees over to a side and rest over onto your side. You can reach an arm up back behind you and roll over onto that side. See if Jake is willing to give up that arm.
I know.
When you are ready, or you could stay laying down, push yourself up to a comfortable seated position. If you noticed anything noteworthy, if you care to jot that down or catalog that for later review, please do so.
We're just about there.
And I think that's getting us just to the end of our first session this evening.
It was really nice.
Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Now I'm going to have to go back at the recording and listen to myself talk me through it. I want to receive some of the fruits of my what I've been planting and seeding. And we didn't really talk about homework.
No, we didn't. But my suggestion.
And instead of homework, maybe take this as home play.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't want you to work. Ease is one of the primary harmonizing qualities of the season.
And that meditation was very inclusive and nourishing. And I invite you this evening to find something that would continue to include our retreat, to include the feeling of retreat that is nourishing to you. So whether that's a perfect cup of tea, or a warm bath, or a gentle walk around your neighborhood, or in nature outside, seeing the moon and the stars.
Some aromatherapy.
Yeah, some of the essential oils for this time of year is cinnamon. We mentioned before, but we also have frankincense and anything that's going to open into the lungs. So peppermint, eucalyptus are going to be really beneficial for you at this time of year. Clove, cardamom, those are all really beautiful herbs and essential oils that you can use to help kind of reconnect you to the feeling of being in retreats and reconnect you to the feeling and harmonizing to yourself.
Yeah.
It felt like a very aligning to myself, centering meditation.
Beautiful. We'll keep building on the momentum tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific Arizona time. That would be noon if you're on the East Coast, and please do a time converter if you're in between. And I see something in the chat. Does anybody have any questions about anything? And I'm going to share this anonymously, but something came through on the private chat. Thank you. This was awesome. Feeling really fluid and loose. I haven't breathed that deeply in a long time. So anything that encourages your deep breath, and this is as we go yinward, every breath is a new possibility. We have over 20,000 breaths a day, and that's over 20,000 possibilities to start anew.
Reach you to something new.
I choose to reorient, recalibrate, rededicate to your healing intention. And please do something that would be exquisite for yourself tonight. Yeah. I'm going to open up on my gallery view.
Yeah, just for any last minute comments or connections that you'd like to share, or anything that you've noticed that you'd like to offer?
Hmm. Now, feel free to unmute. You have total control over that. We'd love to hear from you. If you do have questions or comments, Corrine shared in through the chat. Thank you. Loved it all. Very much needed. And any other comments before we ask you to unmute and say goodbye to our community of loving kindness?
So seeing who's here, look at our lovely faces, our co-retreaters. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to continuing to build the momentum and this feeling of connection and community here. So thank you.
And you guys being here is helping our dreams come true. And together we're all helping each other's highest come forth. So thanks for supporting us and supporting yourself and all those in this community.
Yes, perfect.
So if you'd like to unmute and say goodbye, feel free. Love to hear your voice.
Breath out there. See you later. Sleep well.
Thanks, Jolene. Oh, I like the instrument. There's Kitty Soundmaker.
Oh, here's a good one.
There we go.
Yeah.
Ooh, chimes. Oh, good. Oh, I love that you guys brought in your sounds.
Oh, look at Jolene. What do you got there? What's that, Jolene?
That's
Oh,
chime, those
nice
little chimes.
Cool.
Oh, great. Well, we will tomorrow as well be doing some sound and light.
We'll bring it all back.
We'll just end here by blowing this candle out. And you can keep your own going if you like. And that's over. Sweet dreams, everybody. Hope to see you in the morning. Bye-bye.